What up, Keyforge? I am Zoc, and tonight we're here for the second week of the Keyforge Team League. I will be playing Adaptive Best of 3 versus quickdraw3457. We just saw him in the final of KAGI last night, so I got my work cut out for me. But I believe he is ready, so let's get going. I'm going to be playing my name deck from Grim Reminders, Burgher xoque. And he will be playing Guadalupe the Periodically Spiky. So we got a little bit of a quick peek into that last night because he also played that for the KAGI final. Okay. We shall make this and oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay. Hey, Odd Monster, how are you? Let me flip over. We're here. We're ready to play. All right. And Quick Draw also wants to talk about our match afterwards, so that'll be fun too. Good luck and have fun. Okay, so my deck is a Grim Reminders deck. Geistoid, Mars, and Untamed. It has Island of Misfit Toys to bring back its Geistoid. It also has Replay Pod to bring back Mars stuff, Mars creatures. Also in Untamed, it has Look What I Found, Double Low Dawn, and Nepenseed. So it's got a ton of recursion. A lot of interesting stuff. Like, it's got 2 targets. What do you bring back with your targets? So let's see, what do we got here? We have a 2/2/2, Feeding Pit, Cauldron, and Plowsword. That's not super great. Let's see. Guadalupe doesn't have any artifact control. We have a Reclaim by Nature, though, which could be interesting. Plague Wind here is actually kind of good because to control their board, but I think we'll mulligan this. Hey, Stormstrong, nice to see you. And then Quick Draw is playing Guadalupe the Periodically Spiky. Dark Tidings deck with Chelonia, Double Deepwater Gruin, Witch of the Dawn, Thin the Herd, all tied up. The Ulfbert device can be interesting. Double Eddy, Tide Warp, and Mecha Buoy is often very interesting, and Static Collection Array. They interact very interesting. And he starts with Bilge Warden. I think kind of want to put out this Mars, but I think we'll start with this Geistoid. Go Harvest Skimmer, Empathic Malice, and discard the Look What I Found. What is this team league with Adaptive? I can send you a link. It's called the Keyforge Team League. It was started by Algernon and Emperor Riku, and I believe Astron is helping out as well. And it is a 3-person team league where one person plays Adaptive Best of 3, one person plays Archon Best of 3, and one person plays Triad Best of 3. So we're just in the second week right now. It's pretty new, and that's what it is. Okay. Getting rid of that Novu Archaeologist might be a good idea. So we'll play Geistoid, we'll play the Boiler, we'll play the Plowsword Sword, and Harvest Skimmer I think will take out the Novu Archaeologist. Then we have a pretty nice Mars turn coming up. Yeah, for sure. Let me see if they have a easily accessible Discord invite. Let me see if I can create one. I think I can. Yeah, I can. Okay, this link is good for 7 days. There you go. You're welcome. Yeah, so far it's kind of like almost old school Coat, which is a Keyforge online team event. And also I think it's the, was it the format that Worlds was going to be? I forget. Okay, Hydra Cataloger. Oh wait, he goes untamed. He takes 3 chains to go to change the tide to high, which archives a card with Hydro Cataloger, thin the herd to return everybody to their deck. Chelonia, Mookling, and Youngest Bear come out. And unfortunately, I don't have a way to respond to that right away. But we're definitely going Mars this next turn. Let's see, do we want to discard their Untamed? They just played 4 Untamed, but their biggest value is also an Untamed. They do have some value in a Star Alliance. They sometimes hold the Walmart. Hitting the Eddies would be good too. They haven't gone Star Alliance yet. I think it's either Untamed or Star Alliance here, and I think it's Untamed just because they can go Untamed and reap 3 times. So if they drew into Deepwater Gruin or the Witch of the Dawn, I think that's the play. So let's see what we got. We did get a Deepwater Gruin. Final Analysis, Xeno Training, Talmash Steelheart, and Tide Warp. Okay. We're going to get some doctors out here. What should Target pick up? I think Target actually picks up the Deep Probe. And we do that in Insurance. So will they Final Analysis here? It's an option. I'm guessing that's what they do because they want to get rid of my Mars, but I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. Reaping 3 times is Untamed, I'm sure, also sounds good, but then they don't have any other cards in Untamed, although they do have 1 Archive, which so they might have something there. Okay, here comes the Logos. Talmage comes back. comes down. So they want to gain the extra ember and the extra draw with final analysis there. So now they draw 4 cards. I draw 4 cards. They discard Tide Warp, so they want to keep the Tide, and they discard the Submersive Principle. Let's see, to stop them here, we could go Geistoid. We can't actually stop them in Untamed. Oh, whoops. Okay. We'll play out Tribute Collector, capture their Harvest Skimmer, capture there, and Boiler. And do we want to put any cards back into our deck? I guess we could have done that first. Or do we want to put like Youngest Bear, anything on the back of theirs? I don't think so. We'll do that. Okay, they go Star Alliance. They Technobabble all my stuff. Static Collection Array comes down. Xeno Training and Shield You Later. Okay. So now I think we go Mars here. I think we deep probe them for Logos now, just in case they drew some Eddies. Because we haven't seen any Eddies yet. Alright, we got one. And then we do Don't Believe Your Eyes to capture 1 on Boiler. Oh yeah. I forgot, I gotta be Haunted. I screwed up that play really bad. And then what shall I discard here? I think Low Dawn. And then I do think we want to raise the tide. Okay. That's not good. That's some pretty bad play mistakes right there. This was a deck I was playing against Quick Draw with in KAGI. It is definitely super interesting. If you haven't checked it out, check out the KAGI final last night. It's on YouTube. Super interesting games. It's a really cool AOA deck versus this deck, and lots of cool interactions. The AOA deck has double mimicry. Lots of cool stuff going on. Okay, Star Alliance, Biome Discovery, Hydro Cataloger, Cheetah, and Shield You Later. I'm sure we'll reap. They go up to 7. So now I go Untamed. I reclaim their Static Collection Array. Now we are Haunted. Can do Haunting Witch and Flume. And Helicore. Oh well. Forgot about infighting already, but we got to check there. And we got a replay pod and Plague Win and a target, so that's pretty good. So Stormstrong, what vault tours are you going to make it out to, if any, this season? They go right back into Star Alliance. Dr. Driscoll comes down. Teresa is attached on the Driscoll. Shield You Later fights off the Flumph, and they reap with Cheetah. Huh, what are they trying to set up here? I do get a key. Are they trying to just set up a bigger Witch of the Dawn play? Or... yeah, not sure. So, I could go Mars here and Plague Wyndham. I think that is the play. We will take our archive. We will do that. We are going to play the target first and capture onto something that will survive the Plague Win. Oh, actually, that was a bad call. I should have targeted last, but we'll bring back Don't Believe Your Eyes because it's very, very good. Although the Deep Probe is also very tempting here. Let's see what we got coming up. We got a whole bunch of Geistlight coming up. Only one Mars, so maybe we don't actually bring Mars. We do have Choking Ivy coming up. It'll only hit once. But we don't really want to... I mean, bringing back the Reclaimed by Nature actually is pretty interesting. Yeah, actually, let's bring back the Reclaimed by Nature here. And then we'll replay, and then we'll Plague Wind. And unfortunately, we didn't get quite to check. Now, there's definitely... one thing we could have done there is play the Plague Wind first, and then the target to archive the Plague Wind. But since we probably don't want to be going Mars anyway... okay, yep. Here's the big Untamed play, all tied up, Witch of the Dawn, double Deepwater Gruin, and the Fittest. Yeah, that's pretty good. We have 2 Untamed. This is not looking good. You'll be at Nationals and then maybe New York and less likely Maryland? Okay. A lot are planning on New York. That makes sense. I think I will be at Vegas, and that'll be the only vault tour that I'll be at. And I won't be at Nationals either. Okay, let's go Untamed here. I think we'll hold on to the Reclaimed by Nature. We'll play out Cauldron. We don't have a way to get low dawn value, unfortunately. And Choking Ivy will just kill our target. So we will kill the Witch of the Dawn though, and we'll get to check at 6. We actually drew back in a 3 Untamed with a Haunting Witch and with Bog Spitter. Interesting. They got their second key though, and they have 4 Ember on my creatures, and with the 6 power Deepwater Gruin, they can get rid of both of them. So we're not in a great position here. Definitely could have done some things a little bit differently. The Don't Believe Your Eyes play was really bad. Well, that was really bad, actually. Okay, let's see. We can get to check if they go Untamed. We know they still have an Eddy. They still have Ulfbert device coming. They still have Mechabui coming. I think they discarded the Tide Warp. Okay, they do go Untamed, and they do fight off my Geistoid. They play out my Lobby, and I do get my second key. So we can go back into Untamed. Do we take out the Hydro Cataloger here for an extra 2 Ember? I'm kind of scared of some of their stuff, but I think we do. So I think first we discard the Bog Spitter here. Steal an Ember. And then we play the Haunting Witch here to take out a Deepwater Gruin. The Reclaim by Nature to take out the Hydro Cataloger. Probably should have raised the Tide first. We are going to use Cauldron here, I think. There's a chance we put like Dark Lamp under it, which we actually probably would prefer to have. Same with Tribute Collector. So we have a 2 in 7 chance of getting something we'd probably want in our hand, but I think that's okay. We do have a little bit of capture. We got the Phantasmal Visit. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't get to check here with the Halicore. Oh, actually we can, because the Flumph with the Haunting Witch will get us to check. Okay, perfect. So we do get to check. Just barely. So they go logo, so Eddy is coming down for sure. Theory or Conjecture to play the top card. Oh, maybe they didn't have it. They play Flumph. Maybe they didn't have the Eddy. Data Forge, Mechaboy, Bill Jordan. They didn't have the Eddy. They tried to get it off the top. So it was in the last like 4 cards of their deck. 3 or 4 cards. Okay. So we got the first one. That was close. That was very close. So now we switch decks and we do it again. And Quick Draw chooses to go first. Okay, that was really good that we were able to get that win because we really needed that. Okay, this here is actually really nice starting hand, especially with the Ulfbert device. Now we do know they have the Reclaimed, but I think we keep it. Now, one thing we didn't see come into play at all last game was a replay pod, the Island of Misfit Toys. Bog Spitter comes out. We go Logos. We go Eddie. We're going to archive the Submersive Principle, Hydro Cataloger, and then Tau Mage over here. To go into Geistoid, Island of Misfit Toys comes out. Tribute Collector. And Thought Catcher. Okay. I think we go full Ulfbert here. Let's do it. Ulfbert will do Stunner on Talmage. And then do we make... Oh, the tide isn't high here, so maybe it doesn't matter. They go Mars? Brain Dart value? Ooh, here comes the doctor. Xyloxifrex. I guess Technobabble is my only good answer there, which isn't good. Actually, Ulfbert device is a great answer, so never mind. And then they got two targets coming out. One archives Brain Dart, and the other doesn't have anything to archive. Okay. I think we go Logos here. We'll play Tide Warp and Mecha Boy. Eddie might as well take out a target. And then does Tau Mage take out Tribute Collector and then stun something, or does it just reap and stun something? I think we will fight and stun, even though now Plague Wind and other stuff will take it out. We kind of need to kill the Thought Catcher because of the Ember on their creatures. Ooh, Phantasmal Visit comes down to stun Cheetah. Another Tribute Collector comes down. And a Harvest Skinner as well. Skimmer. kind of hoping I could wait with my Untamed a little bit more, but I think I have to go Untamed now. So I raise a tide, I gain an ember, and I archive a card. I archived Youngest Bear, which I think I'm going to keep in the archive. I think we have to go Untamed here. Oh man, but that leaves Xyloxifrex. Yeah, this is not a good position here. I should have stunned the Xyloxifrex. Maybe I just Technobabble it. They'll be able to bring back and use a target right away. That's pretty rough. Pretty rough. Yeah, we're gonna do it. A really, really sad play there. They do go all into Mars. Replay pod comes down. That's not good. Brain darts. Grima Minder seems like a fun adaptive set. Yeah, I do think it will be pretty interesting and adaptive. What's up, Murph? Periodic. The spikiness is very periodic. I'm gonna get spiked pretty good this game. The spikiness is already happening here. They are. Heyo! Oh, quick draw. Foiled by his own deck, fighting into the elusive Edai because of Cheetah was next to it after they killed the Talmage with the damage pip. Okay, what do I got here? I have high tide right now, so I want to make money first. Make money. Okay. I do actually kind of want to, man, I really want to go logos here, but I think I have to go Untamed. Because I'm going to need the submersive principle next turn. Yeah, I think that's the play. I can bring back the Talmage with Witch of the Dawn. Oof. So bad. Okay. Yeah, let's go Untamed. We're just going to do it. We're not going to bring back the Talmage. We're actually going to just discard stuff here. Do we want to give him an Ember? Man, bad Bad timing all around. Okay, we'll discard the Milobi. We will play the Witch of the Dawn. We'll give them an Ember, and we will do that. And we didn't draw the final analysis, although we have a chance when we hit our archives on the Hydro Cataloger. Of course, we drew into a whole bunch of really good Untamed stuff, which we can't play now. So we really should have gone Logos last turn, but we did not know that. They go Untamed. They take their archive. They reclaim the Mecha Buoy. Okay. I'm surprised they didn't do the Tide Warp, actually. No, that makes sense. They discarded it on theirs. Yeah. I get a Ember every turn, so the Pensine comes down. Brash Grabber moves one Ember from my guy to their pool. They exhaust Bog Spitter. What else are they going to do here? They discard Flumph and Cauldron. They play Haunting Witch, so they get. They're still not haunted. Oh man. We gotta go Logos here. We will be taking. Let's see. What do we get in our archives? An Eddy. Guess first things first, we data forge and see if we can get a key. Ah, we are just off. Eddy will fight. What will Eddy fight? Quickdraw says, I hope you have a special graphic and sound effect when I play Dataforge, since this is the Dataforge stream, but I don't have one. I don't. What a fail.
This is Keyforge.
What a fail. What a fail. Okay. Need to think about what I'm doing here. I think Eddy takes out the Haunting Witch. We do the Submersive Principle now. Then we will do Novo Archaeologist, Eddy to archive that, and then do we play the Bilge Warden? Yeah, I think we do. We do give them another card, but that's alright. Oh, we got set a collection array, which will be interesting. Xeno training, we still, I guess we have the Thin the Herd to try and take care of some of these 2-powered Mars creatures. Because they can go nuts in Mars this turn. They can go nuts, nuts, nuts. They can gain at least 6 Ember here. And I don't have anything to do to stop them. It's in my sponsorship agreement. Don't tell the lawyers. Oh man. The Data Forge. I don't know. Gotta think of. It's gotta be like a Star Wars droid sound or something. I'm not sure. It's been a long week. Too long to think about that. Okay, I think they're trying to plan out their Mars turn for maximum damage. So I think we can already start thinking about how many chains to try and get my deck for. And I don't think it's too much. Oh, they deep probe my Untamed. They take out my Youngest Bear and my Deepwater Gruin. And my Flumph. Very nice, very nice. I was thinking like a Star Trek original series-esque effect. That would be pretty good. They got some good um they got some good sound effects. Whew. Okay, here we go. Here's the play. First they have Brash Grabber. Ha ha ha, replay pod ruining your fun. They're gonna have to use it to get value. So that's going to be interesting, their decisions, if they are going to take their creatures from replay pod or not. Because obviously they can also fight with the target, kill it. They can use it from the replay pod, discard their creatures to bring them back with Dr. X. It's probably worth it. But then they won't have the replay pod for when Dr. X dies. I mean, one of the Dr. X should also fight in. Oh man, Thought Catcher is also giving him a draw every time. Oh man, so bad. I haven't been able to control their board at all. Star Trek door noise. I like it. Oh, this is so bad. Okay, so I'm guessing they're going to fight with Dr. X. Then they'll use a replay pod. They'll discard it all. Or at least, yeah, I guess they don't want to discard all of it. They'll discard a Dr. X and the Brash Grabber. Yep, there it goes. They use a replay pod. They discard the Dr. X. They discard. Oh, they reap with Dr. X to bring back Dr. X. Yep. But then they got to discard. Oh, they have a target there already, so. Brash Grabber comes down. Target comes down. What do they archive? They got a lot of good choices. Deep Probe, Reclaim by Nature, Phantasmal Visit, Brain Dart. They got Haunting Witch. I mean, they got so many good choices. They damage a Bilge Warden. Let's see, they archive the Reclaim by Nature. Nice. They reap with the Dr. X, bring back the other target to archive the Haunting Witch. And then target will reap. Yes. So they already got 4 in their archives. Let's see, what else do they have in their hand? We haven't seen the Don't Believe Your Eyes yet, although they're not haunted, so that's good. They still have 7 in their hand. They actually, besides Deep Probe, I don't think they've really played anything from their hand. They're doing some thinking. The Pen Seed to bring back Brain Dart. They Brain Dart my Witch of the Dawn. Interesting. Okay. And then they finally call it good. So I think the play here, I think we still have to go Untamed here. Thin the Herd, all tied up. I guess Thin the Herd puts back target that both Dr. X's and the Bilge Warden. I still can't get to the Thought Catcher. Witch of the Dawn will fight off the Brash Grabber, and then Deepwater Gruin fights off the Bog Spitter? Even though they draw another card with it? Yeah, I think so. I don't think it matters. Hey, there's finally our infighting. We have not drawing kind of no creature control in the first half of the deck was pretty rough. We got one Technobabble, which we probably didn't even use at a good time. That was a mistake in hindsight. Final analysis, the only logos card left, and Technobabble, Lieutenant Volmart still waiting, and the Chelonia and the Mookling. Okay, here comes a big Untamed turn. What are they going to reclaim by nature here? The Ulfbert device, the Tide Warp, or the Hydro Cataloger? First, I do Choking Ivy to take out the Novu Archaeologist, the Cheetah, the Witch of the Dawn, and the Tribute Collector. Reclaim by nature takes out the Ulfbert device. Okay. Hey, Toten Carnage, how's it going? Yeah, I barely won the first game. And now Quick Draw is going to destroy me this game, so we will be going into a game 3. This is game 2 right now. Nice to see you all. Yes, this is Guadalupe the Periodically Spiky. And I brought Burgher's Xoque, which is a Grim Reminders deck. Lots of cool interactions here, so I think we're going to see a lot of Grim Reminders in Adaptive in the future. And I figured I might as well start learning it now. Like, there's so many interactions. I was making mistakes. So it's going to be fun to learn. Here comes Haunting Witch. Halakor comes out. Gaining Amber. They got value with Lodon after they discarded the Blernian Hydra. I will not be able to stop them this turn for sure, and probably not the next turn either. They also still have Island of Misfit Toys. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards in their discard from Geistoid. And they probably have a whole bunch in hand. Okay, and then they play Look What I Found and bring back Brain Dart, Nepenthe Seed, and Brash Grabber. Huh, that's kind of interesting choices there. I mean, I'm sure they figure they can bring back their Geistoid stuff with the Island of Misfit Toys, so they didn't need to bring that creature. So I guess that makes sense for the Brash Grabber. And then the choice for artifact was between Nepenthe Seed and Cauldron. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, but we do get a key. We got to go Starlines here. I guess we can go Untamed. Which is kind of tempting, but we will go Star Alliance. That was kind of stupid. That's alright. We got an Infighting and a Mookling. We got a Theory or Conjecture, so we didn't draw our Valmart, which we didn't draw our Chelonia or our Final Analysis. And they are already at check for the third key. All they got to do is gain 2 Ember, and that's game. And they're going Mars. They got 9 cards in their hand. They're definitely going to gain that amount of Ember. Brain Dart comes out. It's going great. Took daughter number 2 to her first Buffalo Bandits lacrosse game. Lots of fun. That's cool. Very nice. Here's a Don't Believe Your Eyes value. Target comes out. I wonder if they have a... With Plague Wind, they could also take out the Deepwater Groan, but they would also take out theirs, so that's why they're probably playing creatures first because of the Haunting Witch. They archive back Don't Believe Your Eyes, which is always a nice play. Brash Grabber comes out. There's the Plague Wind. Up to 13 Ember. I could do the Infighting. Let's do the Theory or Conjecture because that's more fun. Okay, on to game 3. Okay, so now the question is, how many chains? How many chains do we go? They start at 1. We didn't see a lot of the burst that is capable from Guadalupe. He almost beat me the first game. It was really close. Now, I don't think my deck drew that well, and actually I didn't play that well. But we're gonna jump up to 6. 24 chains easy. Okay, so I get my own deck for 6 chains, and I get to go first, which is not bad. And we actually have a really nice Geistoid turn here to start. But actually, I forgot that we're first players, so we are probably going to start with Untamed here, but we will keep the hand. Even though it doesn't have a lot of the good cards, it allows me to start moving cards. So that's worth it. They did mulligan, so hopefully they didn't get good stuff. We're gonna start with the Hydra. And start burning some chains. 7 is borderline. It is borderline. I'm 6. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of variability, I think, in both of these decks. At least for me. I think Quickdraw can probably play Guadalupe about a lot better than I can for sure. So we'll see. We'll see. But my deck might be too variable. Now that's an interesting play. Quickdraw just plays Technobabble and passes. So are they already setting up a huge Untamed play? We'll go Geistoid. Maybe they're holding on to Reclaim by Nature? No. Thought Catcher we want on the left. And Empathic Malice to discard our Halacore. And capture onto our Thought Catcher. Oh wow, we drew 3 more Geistoid? Then the herd comes down. That's what they're waiting for. Very nice. All tied up to raise a tide and youngest bear. Okay. Oh, we'll go right back into Geistoid then. Island of Misfit Toys. Varad the Indulgent. Harvest Skimmer. To capture onto Varad. And I think we will Plowsword here. Our Halacore to take out the youngest bear. Oh, and we redrew into Thought Catcher. Although it's kind of a little bit awkward here since they're all 5 power creatures. Biome Discovery, discarding Talmadge Steelheart. Static Collection Array comes down. Dr. Driscoll. Will they be at check already? Teresa. Okay. We go right back into Geistoid. Thoughtcatcher will come down here. Brad will fight Teresa. We'll reap here. And we discarded Dr. X. And then Plowsword will put Youngest Bear. No, we'll put Steelheart back in the bottom of their deck and take out the Doctor. And Insure. We got Plague Wind, which is cool, although it does kill one of ours. Final Analysis comes down. We do get to draw a card out of that. They get to check. Novu Archaeologist comes down. Data Forge. So they're at check at 7. If I raise a tide, they pay 7, which is kind of cool. Um, we could go right back into Geistoid to get them all back with Island of Misfit Toys. That's also really tempting. Yeah, we're gonna do that actually. Because it could die at any second to the... Oh, actually, they can't kill it. I can kill it. I'm getting confused. Okay, Thought Catcher needs to come out over here. Then we'll play Tribute Collector here. Capture here. We'll play Varad. No, then we'll play Harvest Skimmer and then Varad. Yeah. Harvest Skimmer here. And Varad over here. And then we will Empathic Malice, discarding look what I found. Or Low Dawn. Probably Low Dawn. Do we care about the Ember? How much are we going to want to bring back with Look What I Found? There's probably a lot. So let's take out the Low Dawn and capture onto Varad, which makes it 7 power. We could Plow Sword as well. Let's Plow Sword their youngest bear or their doctor. The youngest bear to hit the archaeologist. Okay. I like that churn. I like that churn. And we've tried to set it up so that infighting won't hurt us too bad. They go right back into Logos to get back their final... Oh, to get back Thin the Herd. Very nice. Theory of Conjecture to archive 2 cards. Yeah, Thin the Herd would hurt here. And unfortunately, we can get only 1 Mars creature on the board. So do we not kill their Novu Archaeologist here? Interesting. I should have taken... Oh, they do Subversive Principle. Okay. And Hydro Cataloger comes out. I think it's time to raise a tide. Do I reap just 3 times here, or 4 times, because they're going to Thin the Herd? Oh man, they're setting up a huge Untamed play already. I think it's time to go Mars. We can't save our Thought Catcher. Too bad, too bad. So let's go Mars here. Now, do we target the Empathic Malice, or the Brain Dart, or the Plague Wind? We do have the Choking Ivy coming. So we're going to discard the Plague Wind here, because we know the Thin the Herd is coming. Well, first let's do Brain Darts. Then we'll do Terrible teammates and capture on Vrod again. And we will discard. Let's see, do we want to discard Look What I Found or not? Yeah, let's discard it. We'll discard the Plague Wind, and then we will come over here and pick up something with a target. Okay, Empathic Malice or Plague Wind is the question. I think Empathic Malice. We let him gain more with a Mecha Boy. That's a mistake. Okay, here comes the Untamed, and I'm sure here comes the Thin the Herd as well. Oh, they can get all of mine. So I did make the mistake not killing the Nova Archaeologist because of the fittest. So that was a cool play. They're up to check at 6. Chelonia comes down. They'll be gaining some member here. They discard my Lobi so that they can bring it back with Witch of the Dawn to get Ember from both Witch of the Dawn and my Lobi. Deepwater Gruin comes down. Huge play, huge play. So we go into Untamed here. We don't take our archives. Okay, let's read, make sure we have discard 6, so this will happen twice. We will take out the Chelonia and the Witch of the Dawn. The Pentseed, Blernian Hydra here. And then we gotta take the Tide, which will give us Thought Catcher. That's nice. And Insured. Okay, and we drew in the Don't Believe Your Eyes, which is nice. Yeah, we actually have a really nice Geistoid churn next. They can do some good damage here, though, so we'll have to see kind of how they play this out. We also have the Pentseed. We could play Don't Believe Your Eyes twice in one churn. That's huge. But we're not ready for that yet because we are not haunted. Okay, they go right back in Untamed. They do Archive or Raise the Tide. They fight off the Varad right away. Up to check at 8. Okay. I think that's alright. We'll go Geistoid here. We can capture 3. We can do some stunning. We can take out their Noble Archaeologist. And we can raise the tide right back. Okay, what is our... We're going to play Thought Catcher over here. We're going to play Harvest Skimmer over here and capture on the Thought Catcher. Phantasmal Visit will stun and exhaust my Lobi. Boiler will come over here. Empathic Malice will have to discard the target, unfortunately. but that'll go back to the bottom of our deck. We actually, they're at sneaky check right now, actually. So that's cool. Let's see, what can we put on the bottom of their deck? Dr. Driscoll? Yeah. We will put the good Dr. Driscoll on the bottom of their deck. And then we will raise the tide here. And in turn. And we archived a doctor. That's getting pretty scary, though. Pretty scary. We haven't seen the infighting yet, so that will get him back to check. But we can Don't Believe Yours twice. Star Alliance, he can also do some stunning. I don't think we've seen that yet. There's a Technobabble. They get some stunning action. Let's see, how many more cards do they have to raise the tide? We've seen we've seen Biome Discovery and All Tied Up. They raise the tide themselves. They go up to 6 chains. We haven't seen the Bilge Warden. Lieutenant Volmar comes down. Xeno training to capture. They get back up to sneaky check here. Okay. I could get Bog Spitter value here, actually. Yeah, we're gonna go Untamed here because our merge turn is really lackluster. We haven't done a good job or been able to do handcrafting that well. So we're gonna play out our Cauldron. We're gonna discard Bog Spitter, steal 1. We'll play out the Flumph over here, and we will raise the tide. And then take out the Volmart. And in churn. So we're back up to 7 chains. Not sure if this is a good idea to get into a chain war here. They're leading here, but we do have a big Mars turn coming, although we keep not drawing Mars. We got Replay Pod and all this goodness coming, but when is it going to come is the question. What did we archive here? We archived a Halacor. Not that exciting. Maybe we can set up a burst with Haunting Witch at some point, although we don't really have any other Untamed coming, so that's not that great. They go back into Star Alliance. The Ulfbert device comes down. Stunner on Cheetah. Whew, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to pull this out here. Cheetah stuns Thought Catcher. And they raise the tide. Okay. So I can't go Untamed. I can go Geistoid here. But, yeah, and if I raise the tide, I do stop them. Let's do it. Raise that tide. Use the cauldron. What do we get? We put Feeding Pit under it. Tribute Collector will come down. Here. And capture here. Tribute Collector will come down here. And capture here. We will unstun a whole bunch of stuff. Let's see, what crappy creatures can we put on the bottom of their deck? Teresa or Novo Archaeologist? I think Novo Archaeologist. Novo Archaeologist actually isn't crappy, but take out Cheetah. They have a key cost of 7. They do not have the Tide. Okay. We drew one Mars card. One Mars card. And we archived one. That's better than nothing. Yes, I say it's not so good for me taking all these change, being in a losing position, but it's fun to see what happens. But Quick Draw says, see, DT games are fun. Okay, they go logos. They draw. They take their archives. They have 7 in hand. Bilgewarden comes out. They get the free raise there. Eddie comes out. Another Eddie comes out. And that's it. Well, I can't go back into Geistoid. So now it's time for the Don't Believe Your Eyes play. And we got to get rid of their other Deepwater Gruin. Hopefully. Let's see what they got. Deep Probe for Untamed? No. Well, we got Chew. And they're down to 2 cards in hand. Okay, so they have Shield You Later and Tau Mage in their hand. Okay. So we're going to play Replay Pod here, Dr. X over here. And then Don't Believe Your Eyes. Oh, this is going to be a fun infighting. Capture here, and then if you are haunted, a creature captures 2 from its own side. Okay. So we're going to put those right there. We are going to use a cauldron and put target under it. And then we're going to use the Pent Seed to bring back Don't Believe Your Eyes. capture onto the flumph. And I guess that's my turn. Now, do I raise the tide here? Do I give them Ember? We have 7 Ember on my creatures. They have 5 on theirs. And what do I have coming? I have a Thrash Grabber coming. I have a target and a feeding pit under my cauldron. I have a bunch of capture coming in Geistoid. Reclaim by Nature still hasn't come. I don't think I raise here. So I do give him a free Ember. Here's the Untamed. Okay, here we go. My Lobi removes its stun. There's the infighting. Boom. We're going to see a whole bunch of action here. I get to draw a bunch. They get a bunch of Ember. They get a Deepwater Gruen action. I get one of them under Replay Pod. Mookling comes out. They're going to make me pay 8 for this and the Deepwater Gruen. So I do get a key for 8. They're at check at 8. And I can go Geistoid or Untamed. Okay. Ooh, and they redrew. That is huge. And I have more capture coming. Hallowed Eve Festival, I think, is the top card of the deck because Empathic Malice goes to the bottom, so I can capture 1 extra 1. That's pretty interesting too. I can play Target and bring back something. That's pretty cool. I can bring back Don't Believe Your Eyes. But I won't be... yeah, I still will be haunted, actually. Actually, I want to kind of stay haunted forever now, right? Okay, so we'll go Geistoid here. We're going to start stacking the bottom of our deck. Maybe with Mars creatures like Target or Varad. Yeah, I like the Target play. So what do we want to kill with that? My Lobi? So they just went Untamed. So we got to kill the Eddy. Thoughtcatcher will reap. We'll play Dark Lamp over here. Oh, and draw a card. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's take the chains now, really quick. We will Plow Sword for target and take out, I think, the Mylobi here? We will... then we should Cauldron. So first we're going to play Feeding Pit. Then we're going to play... Oh, we have 2 targets? Oh yeah, I just put target underneath. I need to pay attention. We'll play a target over here. Capture here, do damage onto Eddy. Actually, onto the Deepwater Gruen. And we're going to bring back Don't Believe Your Eyes. Then we're going to play the other target over here and bring back Deep Probe or Plague Win? Deep Probe. Plague Win will just own our own creatures. We Hallowed Eve Festival just for the Ember. Oh, we archived here, that's why. Okay. Tribute Collector. This Tribute Collector will fight the Mookling and capture on here. Oh, we don't want to draw, actually. Oh no, they can make me not haunted. That's alright. We'll do that and capture here. And we'll reap here to get the check. And I think that's all we can do. Inchurn. Okay. Whew. Okay. So we're up to 9 chains, 6 Ember. We have some good Mars stuff in our archive. They can't go untamed because of Ulfbert device. They go Logos. Did they redraw Final Analysis? If so, that could be game. Nova Archaeologist comes down. Bilge Warden comes down. I wish I knew how to chain bid. My only wins in adaptive are 2 O's. Okay, and Tile Match comes down. Perfect. So we get a key. Beautiful. We are still haunted, so we can do some Dr. X stuff. Or we could maybe, let's do some Dr. X stuff. Actually, what I meant actually is target stuff. Or, no, I didn't mean either of those. I meant don't believe your eyes stuff. Okay, so we go Mars. We do pull our archives. And the first thing we need to do is don't believe your eyes before we screw this up. Maybe we deep probe first. We deep probe for Untamed. Oh no. Infighting. Okay, so we got to play this just right. Infighting will keep up Deepwater Druin, so that's where we need to put the Ember. We're gonna Feeding Pit. Oh, do we do that? So we got to do this while we're still haunted. We'll put it on Boiler so that we'll capture still a whole bunch. Brash Grabber can come down here and damage Talmage. So is it okay that we draw now? I think it's okay that we draw now. No, but we can't fight here. That'll only get us 2 Amber, so we have to reap twice. So if they play the infighting, Deepwater Goin will die. We'll still, and we'll get to check with the Feeding Pit. Yeah, perfect. Reap here, Feeding Pit, the Halacore, and Cauldron doesn't do anything because we didn't fight. Okay. So now if they infighting, we win. I think. Oh, we almost gave him a free key there. We should have taken chains, probably. Whew, man, this is pretty nuts. This is pretty nuts. Let's see, how many ember do we get on our creatures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. This game is nuts. So let's see. We saw what was in their hand. Shield you later, Dr. Driscoll, Xeno training, and infighting. So they got to go Starlines here. They pull their archives. So maybe they have a Technobabble or something. They could stun like these 3 Geistoid. Oh, they had a no. Shield you later goes on Deepwater Gruin. Nice. That's a cool play. Cheetah comes down. Dr. Driscoll comes down. And Lieutenant Volmart comes down. And there's a Xeno training that goes on to Driscoll. Okay. And on to Novu and on to Cheetah. Okay, so I can go Untamed or Geistoid here. Oh man, I kind of want to go Untamed, but what do I have in my archive? 2 Mars creatures, that doesn't help. I think we go Geistoid here. I mean, if we just reap out, they can't use the Volmart because of Ulfbert device. Let's do some plow sorting. We can plow sort the Nova Archaeologist, the Cheetah. Can we kill? Oh, we can move stuff from their pool onto ours. Perfect. So we will use a Brash Grabber to take one of these Ember back. And do we just reap out then? They'd have to stop us in Logos with Submersive Principle or Eddies, right? And what does a Nova Archaeologist have? They could bring back Eddie. We gotta kill that. Capture onto the Brash Grabber. We'll reap here. Using this guy, we could actually kill the Talmage and the Lieutenant Volmart, which is interesting. Kind of. I think I'm overthinking it. I think I probably should just reap out here. If they have the Submersive Principle, they can fight a couple times. I think that's alright. Oh, our guys are elusive because of Dark Lamp too, so that's pretty sweet. We will not do that. We will use a Plow Sword. We'll put Bog Spitter back on the bottom of ours, I think. Take out the Driscoll here. And then we will Empathic Malice, will we? We will raise the tide as well. I think we hold on to the Empathic Malice here, actually. So that we stay haunted. Maybe some extra Haunting Witch value if we need it. So we got to check at 8 for a third key. Can we do it? Do they have an answer in Logos? Do they have the submersive principle or an eddy? An eddy, they can get me up to 8 with eddy and hydro cataloger. So is submersive principle their only out? They go untamed. I think that's it then. Hey, Ambermedes, what's up? We are in the final stretch. We're in game 3. It's been a crazy match. I took mine for 6 chains. I have 10 chains now. Here we go. Infighting comes down. I drew some cards. I drew a whole bunch of cards. They got up to 9 Ember. Witch of the Dawn comes down. Bringing back Mookleen. Can they stop me? If they have, I think the fittest. Oh, I thought they already played the fittest. Deepwater Gruin comes down. Do they have the fittest? What does the other Deepwater Gruin do? It fights. No, it doesn't. It reaps. Good game. We got it. Whew. What a game. Wild game. And just don't leave yet. Quickdraw's going to come on and talk to us if he's got time. It is we played pretty late. Wild game. Nice to see you, Ambermedes. Yes, that was the game 3 of our adaptive match for the Keyforge Team League. Pulled it out. Taking my deck for 6. Lots of chains involved. I've raised the tides so many times that game. Whoa, what a crazy game. We'll ask if he's still up to talk with it being after midnight. Let me see if I can set this up super quick. He is ready to talk, so let me set that up. I am setting this up. Okay, I am copying this to invite a guest. Wait, is this what I want? Is this what I want? We will try this. Okay, we'll try this. Okay. Thank you. Okay, we are going to also try this for us here. Oh yeah. Try to do this ourselves here. Okay. Join a room with a camera, sure. So the audio might get messed up here pretty quick. Could not start video source. Okay, yeah, that's all right. That's all right. We'll do that. Audio sources. Can I use the same audio source here? We will try. Output. Okay, I'm in. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Doc?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well.
And the audience can hear you. I believe. So let me just see if I can set this up so that they can see you. Actually, we're just going to do this real easy. We're going to do something like, let's just go to the cube. Yeah, that'll work. It's a little awkward. I'll hide my other camera so we don't have to see me twice. All right. So, quick draw. What a game. This was
Nice
nuts.
game.
A good game. There was a lot of chains there.
That was a lot of chains. I didn't think you would take it as many times as you did, and I didn't think you'd get away with it.
Yeah, I was very scared. I had a lot of Ember on my board for a long part of that game,
Yeah.
which was very scary. But I knew the final analysis and infighting and the infighting came late. The thin the herd and the final analysis came fairly early.
Yeah. I got dealt with the Thin the Herd, and I opted to go for just like the one card turn one with like I think it was just what was it, a Technobabble
Yeah,
or
yeah,
yeah. Because I didn't want to play the Thin the Herd for no value. And so I think the second turn I was hoping you'd play more creatures. You played, I think, two. So I got some value from it, but then I got the Novu Archaeologist out, and my plan was just to archive the Thin the Herd with it. So
yeah, that was good.
um, yeah, I was happy with that. And I think the reason I was comfortable playing the Thin the Herd on turn two is that I actually drew into Final Analysis already.
Oh, okay.
So I had a few options, and I knew you were chained, and I thought, this should be all right. But was it Thought Catcher or the one that lets you draw? I think was um,
Thought Catcher's the one that lets you draw if there's Ember on them. Yeah,
okay. Yeah, that really helped you get through the chains, obviously, because once the Thin the Herd was gone, the only way the Ember was coming back to me was destroying it and letting you
yeah.
draw. So
Yeah, I was a little bit lucky that I kept getting Thought Catcher back, even though you put it back like in my deck. I think
yeah,
I forget if it was twice. I forget if it was there. Yeah, it was. It was one of my first two creatures, and so it went
I
back
think
twice within the herd, and I got it back
yeah,
pretty quickly both times. So I was pretty lucky
you just
there.
kept calling Geistoid. I was like, do you have any other houses in here? You have all these
Yeah,
chains, and every turn you're just going Geistoid.
and I had like a turn one or turn two plow sword, and wow, I got so much
Yeah.
value out of plow sword.
That was brutal. I totally agree. That was a lot of value. At first, I was like, okay, like you're keeping yourself not haunted, and I was like, that's not that bad. Um, but that thing, it handled a lot. Yeah, because
Yeah,
your C is not that big in there. You just have a lot of
right.
fighting,
Yeah.
and the plow sword ended up killing it. I think in probably at least five creatures that game.
Yeah, definitely. And some games, depending how it goes out, like I went heavy Geistoid there. I kind of needed to. You were kind of bursting a little bit early. I had to get some capturing going. Other games I can go kind of big Mars and then play like a whole bunch of Plague Winds, sometimes twice in a turn with the Pent Seed. But I kind of wasn't able to do that because it would kill a whole bunch of my Geistoid here.
Mm,
So then, yeah, you're right. My creature control was quite limited.
yeah, yeah. I did have a lot of burst early, which was good. That's kind of how I hoped to win that matchup was just the burst, but you ended
Yeah,
up getting the Geistoid and the capture to keep me off that second key for so long. Um, yeah, so static collection array, like when I played the static collection array, I was like, he's already got chains. If he wants to make me pay 7 to raise, I said I was okay with that. I think where I made the mistake was probably playing Hydro Cataloger as well, because
mm,
that really mitigated the risk of you taking the tide. Like if you
yeah,
once you got above 6 chains, you were still archiving every time at least, so it
yeah.
it wasn't that bad for you. So I think the Hydra Cataloger was probably the one that I should have discarded.
Yeah, I was a little bit scared of the Hydro Cataloger because I knew it also let you set up big burst plays, and I also thought like you can beat me with those. So I was kind of scared about that. Let's see. We didn't see. I I didn't pay attention. Did you never see Tide Warped? Was it like at the end and you never had a chance to play it, or you didn't want to play
Uh,
it? Because I know that
I
you
discarded
discarded
it.
it in a previous game.
I discarded it probably like halfway through the game. I got it halfway through my deck, and definitely was going to discard that, especially with Reclaim by Nature in there, because
Yeah.
if I play the Tide Warp and you reclaim the Mecha Buoy, Tide Warp is just a liability at that point.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, it was interesting. What was the other one that I was a little bit? interested in.
You had a turn that you said that you made a misplay. It was when your deck was empty and you had just played the 2 targets, and you said you made a big mistake there or something like that. I
It
couldn't
wasn't
tell
a
what it was.
big mistake. I was just one thing I didn't think through the full play, and I wanted to make sure that if you went untamed and did infighting, the Deepwater Gruin died and I got to check. But the only way I could get to check was with the targets reaping. I
Mm,
was struggling on like, oh, do I want to fight and draw stuff and actually become unhaunted?
right.
Um, or I mean, obviously I want to get to check, but I forget even exactly what it was, but it was something related to the sequencing there. I think in the end I made it so that if you did do the infighting, that I would have got to check, so I was okay with that. Yeah,
Yeah. You went to check barely. You had 6, I believe, and if you had if you had 5, I would have just gone to Untamed and played the infight again, nothing else. But you got to the point where like you were talking about the Deepwater Gruin. I was going to kill the Deepwater Gruin. Maybe you had 4 and there was 2 in the Deepwater Gruin.
yeah,
I couldn't go
exactly.
Untamed though. Like
Yeah.
that was out of the question. And so I had a Valmart in my archive. I had a couple pips in Star. My only chance was to go Star Alliance like I did, spread it out, and then draw into some more amber control in another house, which I kind of did. You mentioned the plow swords. The last turn of the game, I was actually very nervous you were going to play the plow swords and put the mookling from my discard on the bottom
Mm.
because I ended up drawing the Witch of the Dawn, and I thought like if I can just get you to no don't go
I
above 7,
I was scared about the
I
fittest.
felt
I was like,
okay.
oh no, if he's got
Yeah,
the fittest, he
yeah.
stops me here.
If I had the fittest, I know. So I was like, ugh. But I had the Witch of the Dawn, I had a Gruin, and I had
Yeah,
the mookling
that
from the
was definitely
discard.
a mistake. I should have put that on the bottom. I was like earlier in the game trying to put a whole bunch of creatures that weren't that valuable on the bottom of your deck in different houses so that it would be a rough draw at the end there.
See, I told you before this match that like your deck was such a cool adaptive deck,
Yeah,
and part of it is because of all the decisions with plow swords. Like, there's so many different ways you could go with that. Like,
yeah,
you could stack the bottom of my deck with a single house, and then set up a deep probe. And later in the game, you know exactly what's in my hand, and you just discard all those creatures.
totally.
But there, like, then again, you could also recur your targets like you did. Like, there's so many different paths you could go with that. Just a really cool deck.
Yeah, the recursion is nuts, and sometimes it's a little bit brain burning to be like, what the heck am I going to bring back? It's got Island of Misfit Toys, which is obviously simple, and maybe you could make the argument I used it too early that last game, but the Seed, Replay Pod, which also you don't have to make a decision there except when you take it. But in the Seed,
Hmm.
look what I found: the double targets, the low dawns. You sometimes you might not want to play them.
Right.
And then of course the plow sword. So a lot of decisions
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. The second game, I played a lot of the recursion. I played the low dawn. I played the look what I found. I used the Nepenthe seed. I was always careful to not use it on the Geistoid because I was like, I can get the Geistoid whenever I want it. So I just tried to get the other stuff back. Yeah, game 2 was much more of a blowout than I expected it to be. Um,
That
I thought they were
it can
actually,
high roll sometimes. Yeah.
yeah, I thought they were not quite evenly matched, but like a lot closer than that represented. Like 6 to me, when you bid 6, I was like, no, that was pretty easy. That I wasn't gonna go 7 for that.
Yeah.
We tested a few games and I was able to 2-0. Um, and so I
Oh,
was like,
with
there is a
Guadalupe,
path.
huh?
I won with Guadalupe and then switched
Okay.
decks against my
Okay.
teammate,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
won with
Nice.
Burgher. Um, so I knew there was a path to win with Rush. It's just that I think when you got all your Geistoid capture early, that kind of like made that a
Yeah.
little bit harder.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even the first game with no chains, I barely won that, right?
It
That
was
was
a close
really
one.
close.
It was a close one. Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm not sure. I mean, this deck is good for adaptive because of all the decision space, but depending on if you get the replay pod early, depending on if you get the misfit
Hmm.
early, Island of Misfit Toys, it can change kind of how the deck plays. I mean, you had that huge Mars turn. Like some games that happens, and like I'm not. like probably the only time I reaped with Mars this game was that last turn with the 2
Hmm.
targets.
I think so too. Yeah.
So depending on the game, depending on if they have artifact control, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll still have to play it more.
Um,
One reason I wanted to learn it, and so I was just like, hey, let's go for it. With all the decisions, I know it'll at least be interesting for adaptive. Um,
yeah, definitely. I decided not to go with the Grim Reminders for this event. Just I don't know, little try harden, right? So I just picked the one that I knew.
yeah,
Um, did your ABR team make the playoffs?
no,
Okay. Um, I I'm gonna play the Grim Reminders adaptive slot for our team, and I'm pretty
sweet,
excited about that.
sweet,
Yeah.
that's exciting. Not sure if we'll have a chance to watch those games, but maybe exciting to hear a future bottom of the beaker report on how your playoffs went.
Yeah, I think we'll give it at least a small report. Yeah, I think Grim Reminders is a great set for adaptive.
Yeah,
I think people talk about how strong it is, but not every deck is super strong. But most decks are going to have a lot of tough decisions, like Burgher does. So
yeah, I
I think it's a
agree.
great set for it.
It's kind of like most of Keyforge, and I know SAS is not everything, but like the 70 SAS range, 70 to 80 or so is like fun Keyforge.
Yeah, it really is for
Yeah.
sure.
Um, good. Let's see. You mentioned adaptive there. What was I gonna say? I don't remember. Cool. What else you got going on? You're an NKFL starting up here?
I am an NKFL. Haven't decided on which decks yet. Um, I had like 11 that I was looking at still,
Hmm.
and I think I'm down to 7. I think I ruled out a few of them just for meta reasons. So I think I'm at 7. We have till next Friday, I think, to submit. Is that right? Oh, maybe it's sooner than that.
I think it's
Shoot.
sooner. I think it's the 13th. I think
Oh, that
yeah, I
sucks.
think it's Wednesday.
I leave on vacation, so I gotta
Oh no.
apparently take some pictures tomorrow. So
Yeah, I still have no idea what I'm gonna bring, so whatever.
yeah.
All right.
Um, there's actually one more league that I'm in right now is Aurora made a point cap league. Have you heard about this one?
I heard her discussing it a little bit. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So it starts off where like I think she's doing in every card starts off at 10 points, right? And the first round you can play a deck worth 360 points, which is like every card's worth 10, so like you can play any deck you want in the first round. Bring
Okay.
your best deck, no big deal. Every time a deck wins, each card in the deck gains a point. So if the deck wins, every card in there goes from 10 to 11. If it loses, every card in the deck goes from 10 to 9, loses one. And every round, your point cap is still 360. So the cards that win are too valuable to continue to play.
Right.
And we're only in the first round right now, but I'm really curious how it's going to play out over a few rounds to see like how long does it take us to get through to like lower SAS decks
Yeah.
that are only options anymore, and does it ever like trend back up? Like if someone has a low SAS Infernus deck that loses, suddenly the Infernuses like might
Ah.
become more affordable in the future. So it's a really interesting concept. I like that it does not like take any kind of arbitrary measurement like SAS or
Yeah.
number of creatures or things like that. It's all strictly in the league, and it tries to balance it that way. And so over time, hopefully, we see like this maybe a meta form of like what SAS cap is going for, right? So I'm really interested to see how it goes.
That sounds actually super exciting. I hope that's a lot of fun. So if a deck has 2 copies, it goes up to 2 then?
I think right now it counts duplicates like twice. So if you
Hmm.
have two Infernuses and you win, they each go up one. But I know Aurora's talking about perhaps changing that. We're not sure yet. We're going to kind of see how it plays out.
Cool. Well, I request a future Bottom of the Beaker episode on the results of that league.
Maybe
Uh,
we will.
that
It's
sounds pretty
I'm
exciting.
not a fan of SASCAP, but this could be like it's a really interesting idea to like find a way to play those mid-range. I
Yeah.
mean that like middle SAS range decks that are not like Archon tier, but play them in a competitive environment.
I'm telling you, we still need a 5 pepper league where You just tell people bring 3 pepper or 2 pepper, and
Yeah, I mean, it might work. I mean, JT and I are like pretty much on the same page about like what is a 5 pepper deck, what is a 3 pepper deck. I think he called me out once because he thought that the deck that I brought was 4 peppers or something. I forget what it was, but
yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I'm sure I lost anyway, right? Because
But it's
I
it's
always
just for
lose.
fun anyway, so
Yeah, just for fun.
cool. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
It's good to chat.
Always good to chat with you. Uh, love your show, everybody. Twitch.tv/sloppylabwork every Wednesday. Bottom of the beaker with JT Russell and quickdraw3457. It always really cool stuff.
Thank you, man. Appreciate
Yep.
it. And I always jump on whenever I can, whenever I get the notification for Data Forge stream. So keep it up.
Thank you. I appreciate
I did not tonight though. Was not watching stream tonight.
it.
I have it up now, but
Yeah, I
nice
trust you.
game. Really well played. Nice game tonight.
Yeah, good game yourself. And
I think our teammates are playing in a few days. So
okay, I didn't even see when they were scheduled. But
yeah, this weekend. So
cool. All right. Have a great vacation.
thanks, man. Appreciate it. We'll
Yep.
talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. Thank you to QuickDraw for coming on, just having a nice chat. One of the most awesome people in Keyforge. Sometime I got to make it out to an event where we can meet in person. Not sure when it'll be, but definitely that's one of my Keyforge bucket list items. But with that, let's see. It's 10:30 here. I want to open a deck. So I'm gonna go to get a deck. Rochester VT. I am not gonna make it to Rochester Quick Draw. Sorry. I am gonna make Vegas, and that's it. Only Vegas for Vault Tours. No national championship. That's it. But uh, um, still too early to even know about Keyforge Celebration 3. But are you gonna be there? Oh, you might go to Glenbury too. Nice. Yes, it is a Grim Reminders deck. Let's do this. Viva Las Vegas. Okay. Ooh, we have a good name. And we have a blue Archon. Okay, we have Mullen, the malcontent of sympathy. This is a really cool Archon too. I love the big horns, and kind of the funny little legs, crab legs, kind of, although they're not bent. So we have Unfathomable Star Alliance Geistoid. So let's hope for a Thing from the Deep deck and other fun stuff. Okay, well, yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know. It's too far out at this point. But I know there's going to be a lot of cool people in Vegas. I heard Rochester is probably going to have a lot of cool people. Sometime I'll have to see if I can get out to Vault Tour out east to meet a whole bunch of people that I never see. All right, first card, we are starting with Geistoid with Veil of Ectoplasm with a discard pip. For every Geistoid card in your discard pile, a friendly creature captures 1 ember. So much capture in Geistoid. Next up, we have a Mehmet. Play Destroyed, archive the top card. Archive the top card of your discard pile. You will make an excellent friend. All right, that can enable some crazy combos. We have Albia Stray. If you are haunted, Albia Stray enters play ready. After Reap, capture 1 ember. Vroom. Oh my goodness, we have a Revenant. Kixlix Gravemaster. Play, purge a creature from a discard pile. Deal 2 damage to each creature that shares 1 or more traits with the purged creature. If you are haunted, archive Kixlix Gravemaster. Ooh. It looks pretty good in the Geistoid there. That's pretty sweet. Probably not one of the best revenants, but I mean it's useful. It's useful. Purging and dealing damage is always good. Revenant. All right, next up is Webster. We have almost all creatures so far. Webster with a discard pip and an amber pip. Taunt after fight. For each damage on Webster, you may discard the top card of each player's deck. That's not a building. Woo. All right, next up we have another Webster, also with an Ember Pip and with 2 discard pips. Wow, those Websters are nuts. There's 2 Ember and 3 discards among them. Next up we have Boo, also with a discard pip, because discarding 10 cards from your deck isn't enough. You also got to discard from your hand. Wow. You know what all these sloppy mips mean. Yeah, Think from the Deep is what I'm thinking. We'll get there. We'll get there. Ooh, Junk Restoration. Maybe we'll have a few more of these. Maybe that's where some of them are coming from, because I love Junk Restoration. And this one has a discard pip with it. Discard the top 3 cards of your deck. You may put a card discarded this way into your hand. One Civilization's Trash is another Next Generation. Another pip. So many discard pips. Yeah, Think from the Deep. Think from the Deep decks. I have 2 of them so far, and they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Oh my goodness, we did get the Ecto Charge with the Boo, with all the discard. Forge a key at plus 20 current cost, reduced by 1 ember for each card in your discard pile. If you do purge Ecto Charge, we have the Mamet to discard it or to archive it as well. We got the combos. We have a Snippy. Skirmish, play, deal 2 damage to a creature, scrap, destroy an enemy flank creature. So far this is quite spicy. Quite spicy. We have a Reaver. Some more enhancements, so we could be getting discard pips from here. After Reap, move 1 ember from a friendly creature to your pool. If you do, discard a card. We'll see. We'll see. Think from the Deep is not confirmed yet. And, oh, wow. Last card is also another Junk Restoration. So good with the Ecto Charge. That is a really good Geistoid house. The kind of only thing that is really missing, I mean, obviously Winds of Death would be awesome, but I think even in here somewhere to kind of do some additional archiving to set things up would be pretty good as well. But can't complain. That house is nuts. All right. Next house. Let's see what we got. Let's shuffle it up. Wow, so many discard pips and extra ember too. Okay, that's shuffled. First, I want to count how many discard pips and ember we have here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ember and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 discard pips. Okay. All right, next house. Odd monster in here somewhere is what makes my name deck consistent. Yeah, it is so good. So good. Okay, we're going to start with Pupgrade. Pupgrade's pretty cool. Pupgrade may be played as an upgrade instead of a creature. With a text, this creature gets +3 power and gains destroyed. Put Pupgrade on the right flank of your battle line as a creature ready. Next up we have Calm Officer Palek, versatile. After fight, after reap, a friendly creature captures 1 ember. Good luck to you, Captain Val Jericho. We have a Elliot. Play after fight, after reap. You may play an upgrade from your discard pile on Elliot. Scrap, shuffle all upgrades from play into their owner's deck. So that's cool. We can already play Pupgrade on it. And let's see what else we have. Oh, Palek is nice. Very nice with Reaver. Good call. We have a Chief Engineer wall, so we can do a lot of recurring of our artifacts potentially, and our robots. And Chief Engineer walls also with the discard pip. Play after fight after reap, you may return an upgrade or robot card from your discard pile to your hand. So Elliot is a robot, and Pupgrade is a robot. Which of these Geistoid are robots? Snippy is a robot. So you could return it to hand and discard it to destroy a creature? That's pretty cool. That's it. Okay. But actually, that's pretty cool with Snippy. We have Triangulator Newsome. Deploy after reap. If you're haunted, move each ember from Triangulator Newsome's neighbors to your pool. Ooh, what combos could we have with that? Next up, we have Forging an Alliance. Forge a key at +7 ember current cost, reduced by 1 ember to a maximum of 6 for each house represented among cards in play. Welcome to the Grand Star Alliance. All right, we have 2 key cheats. Not the best key cheat, but in some decks it's actually quite good. Next, we have Sabotage Mission. Keys cost +1 ember for each different power value among friendly creatures during your opponent's next turn. That's nice to have a little bit of extra ember control in Star Alliance. We have a Censor Jeeve Garcia. That's nice as well. Play after fight after reap. Keys cost +2 ember during your opponent's next turn. She hasn't taken the goggles off since the crash. We have Into the Warp with a discard pip. Play, each player discards a top card of their deck. Destroy each creature that shares a house with the discarded pip. Come on. There we go. We've managed to contain the phenomenon in a handheld vessel. Science Officer Can. Now this is kind of scary, like crazy killing machine scary. However, yeah, we still got some cards. Maybe we have Near Future Lens in here. Or Future Booster. But no, we have some more Ember Control with Rogue Operation. Play, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. Steal 1 Ember for each house represented among discarded cards. And then we got, oh my goodness, we got it. Near Future Lens. Play with the top card of your deck revealed. Omni, play the top card of your deck as if it belonged to the active house and was in your hand. What? So good, so good, and really good with Into the Warp. And last card of Star Alliance, another Com Officer Palik. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. On to Unfathomable. Do we still have the Thing from the Deep coming? I don't know. Oh man, what could we be playing off house with? Near Future Lens? Ooh, Trawler? And then use Triangulator Newsome? Maybe we can get Trawler? I haven't opened a Spicy Grim Reminders deck since my first few decks I got on a real cold streak. Oh, that's too bad. Did you do Sealed tonight? So far, this is a 3.5, 4 pepper, maybe 4.5 pepper. Probably a solid 4 so far. Let's see what Unfathomable brings us. Not sure. Is it well-rounded enough? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Ooh, Ochu with a buy. That's a bad fields. It's 4 easy so far, but Unfathomable is your weakest house probably. I agree. And we're going to start with a weak card, Squallmaster. After fight, after reap, each player discards a random card from their hand, but scrap exhausts the enemy creature. At least it's got a useful scrap effect because I have so many discard pips, so I can get that off. Next up we have, oh wow, more discard pips. We definitely have a thing from the deep, I think. We have a Kariki Germinator with a capture pip and 2 discard pips. Play after reap, put a card from a player's discard pile on the bottom of their deck. Okay, that could be good. My first box was really spicy, but since then, meh openings for me. Oh, there we go. Open the seal. Yep. Thing from the deep activated. Enhance Ember and 3 discard pips. At long last, what was locked away will emerge. There we go. There it is. Thing from the deep. Thing from the deep cannot be played unless Open the Sealed is in your discard pile. After fight, steal 2 Ember. We have an Adult Swim, a Legacy Adult Swim. Whoa, that is pretty cool. Play, put each creature with power 3 or lower on top of its owner's deck in a random order. Oh, that is cool. A Legacy and a Revenant. Very fancy. Let's see. We do have a little bit of anti-synergy because we have the double Palix, Censor Chief Garcia, the Walls, the Pupgrade. Although Pupgrade could make them so that they're not 3. The Snippy, the Gravemaster, which is probably okay to put back, and the Mehmet, which is okay to put back. Alright. And the Squallmaster. Covetous Hema. While Covetous Hema is not on a flank, it gains elusive. Play, capture 3 Ember. So maybe, just so if you all didn't know, the deck that I played today, Burgher xoque, I opened on stream for opening my pledge, opening. So maybe we're going to see this deck on stream in the future as well. We'll see. Next card, Echoing Death Knell. Play, deal 1 damage to each creature. If 1 or more creatures are destroyed this way, repeat this effect. So far, that's not looking that exciting. We don't have a lot of damage pips to kind of help. And actually, I think creature control is probably our weakest area here so far. We have a Thought Swim with a discard pip. This creature gains while your opponent is haunted. This creature cannot be dealt damage. Nice. We have a Nemo Leech with a discard pip. After reap, if your opponent is haunted, steal 2 Ember. Otherwise, steal 1 Ember. We have Call of the Void. Play, exhaust a creature. If it was already exhausted, destroy it instead, and its controller loses 1 Ember. We are really struggling with... Oh, well, whatever. Down to the deep where Kilagog sleeps. Unfathomable chant. So are the last 2 open the seals here? No, we have Effigy. Oh man, Effigy of Melorook. So sad. And another open the seal. Alright, pretty spicy deck, but the Unfathomable is pretty weak. But still, pretty fun stuff. Yeah, I think it'll be fun. So that is... Yeah, we only had 2 open the seals. We got the Wah Chu seal deck. That is Malin, the Malcontent of Sympathy. Alright, fun deck. Alright, that's finally a stream. We've been going for 2 hours and 15 minutes. You still peg it at 90 SAS? I cannot even think about how SAS is rated in this. Oh, it does have the near future lens. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah. Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend, a wonderful trip if you're traveling, a good night, a good day wherever you're at. And as always, forge responsibly. Thanks everybody. Have a good one. See ya.